Hi, my name is Nessa and I am from Angelus Therapeutic Services. Today I'm going to be talking to you about tapping and how that can be used to help you manage anxiety and stress responses. Tapping provides relief from chronic pain, emotional struggles, addictive cravings, fears, trauma, and even some physical diseases. It is often used by athletes, public speakers, and therapists to help calm the body's stress response system and to keep you more present and in the moment. It is not a fix for the causes of stress, but can help be a quick hack or a shortcut to calm the stress response system anywhere from a few minutes to several days at a time. While you may not have heard of tapping before itself, the healing concepts it's based on have been used in Eastern medicine for over 5,000 years. These practices have since been researched scientifically to identify how and why they work. Like acupuncture and acupressure, tapping is a set of techniques that utilizes specific nerve points throughout the body to trigger a physical response that can be used as calming and soothing elements. Rather than using needles like in acupuncture, you can stimulate some of these points by tapping on them with your fingertips, literally tapping into your body's own built-in healing system. If you would like to learn more about the science behind tapping, please explore our Mastering Anxiety blog series and look for the blog titled Tapping into a Calmer You. For the purposes of this tools and tricks video, we are going to use simplified wording and concepts to walk you through how to utilize this yourself. While we are talking about using tapping, this is generally because you are under some sort of stress trigger that has been resulting in a fight or flight response in your body. The process of tapping helps you to signal to specific parts of your brain that controls the ways in which emotional and physical struggles have a neurological entity and disrupts this pattern. This then results in lowering the negative stress hormones that have a cascading impact on your physical symptoms. All of that being said, let's jump into the actual technique. EFT is a very fast, simple, and efficient process. You will start by focusing your thoughts on a specific issue or stress, bringing up in your mind and giving it a rating of intensity somewhere between 0 and 10. This allows for both you to identify in your brain and light it up where that stress signal needs to go, and also gives you a starting point of distress so that you can monitor any changes as you go through the process. Next, you will give these thoughts words. Again, this is to stimulate where the signal is going in your brain. If I was super stressed about, let's say, doing a video presentation that has to be recorded and having to distribute, my wording would go something like this. Even though I have this problem with anxiety over making this presentation, I deeply and completely accept myself. Sounds super corny, but wording is important. Did you catch that last part? You are not just identifying the problems and lighting up the stress part of your brain. You are also programming in the positive information to overwrite and to initiate the calming sections of your brain. You will say this same phrase 3 times while tapping on your first trigger points to really make sure that that part of your brain is activated. Afterwards, you will continue through the next 8 points with just referencing it as this problem and hitting each one of those points 7 to 10 times. Some spots will be more effective than others for you because we are all built differently. You may even have to move around a little bit from where I'm showing you where that trigger point is to where you may feel a physical response from it. You will find that you will like certain points and want to just skip right past the others and go to those. However, I encourage you to try the exercise in full and practice it regularly as you become accustomed to it. After that point, if you feel a need to just go to a certain trigger point, that's great. But we don't always know what our body needs until after it's had some practice. After you go through a cycle of hitting all of the tapping points, I want you to re-rate that stress level. If necessary, do that cycle multiple times to slowly lower your stress responses. It is not unusual to need to do 8 to 10 full cycles if your stress levels are high. After you get this down to an acceptable lower number, let's say 0 to 3, then I would want you to go through the whole cycle again, but this time tapping in a positive message. One of my favorites is I choose to be calm and confident, but I have also used I choose to be rested and relaxed. I choose to be open and accepting. Notice those first words though, I choose. Putting the power for these positives in your hands. Your brain likes this and works best in this manner. Okay, now watch me as I go through and first point out each of the 9 points and then do a full round of tapping. The first point that you're going to utilize is the one that you're going to be hitting for the length of time that you use that phrase 3 full times. This is going to be called your karate chop points. And you are going to take one of your hands and you're going to be trying to hit this section right here. It's most easily done by taking the flat of your hand and actually tapping on the whole section. This increases your chances of actually hitting that trigger point. And again, you would be doing this for the length of time of 3 full sentences, which can just be a matter of seconds, but it gives it a really good time to take hold. After you complete this spot, you're going to move through the system from the top down to where all of the remaining 8 points are. The first one can feel pretty silly. It is actually the top of your head. So if you're going to be looking at the crown of your head just behind the hairline, you are going to be tapping right at this. You are then going to move down to your eyebrow points. The easiest way I found to do this is actually to take your middle finger and put it right here along the nose line, and then put the finger next to it right here inside the eyebrow, and to tap at this. It is probably easiest to close your eyes while this process so that you're not directly looking at a finger coming towards you. It's also helpful if you have glasses to take the glasses off so that you're not continually hitting them, which can be very uncomfortable. The next tapping point is going to be a very common one that I see people use even when they don't know about tapping. It's actually going to be right here at your temples. You're going to use generally a few fingers in a straight line to tap this whole region, and you would do both at the same time to really activate that stress response. You're sticking with 2 fingers, or 2 hands I mean, you're going to move down to your cheekbones, which right here at the top of the bone, under the puffiness of the eye, is another trigger point. From there, you're going to look to right above your lip, to what would be a mustache point for men. You're going to move to the cleft of your chin. Next one is going to be right here on your chest, thinking of it as like birth giving the baby, or the Pledge of Allegiance, where you are just tapping lightly right here with the whole hand. I find it's helpful if I stick my thumb right into the U here so that I can kind of make sure that I'm in the right place. The last point is a little more uncomfortable to get to, but it's actually right here on your side. You would hit right under the armpit down to where, if you're a girl, maybe your bra strap would be. So then you would hit this one, again, 7 to 10 times. After you go and you hit all of those points, it's important to take just a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just kind of releasing some of that stress and tension. Then you would assess, if I was rating that initial 0 to 10 at an 8, where do I feel at right now? Am I still at an 8? Am I at a 9 because it's something brand new and I'm stressed out trying to figure it out? Or am I down to a 7, a 6, a 5? Assess where you're at and then repeat the process. It would be very rare for you to just go through one cycle all the way through and go from a 9 to a 0. Probably fairly impossible. So don't put that level of expectation on you that this isn't working. It's something that is meant to be repeated because you're actually trying to stop a chemical signal from your fight or flight system that has kind of gone out of control and rerouted everything from the top down. Okay, now I'm going to go through this as if I'm doing this whole process. So if I'm sticking with my wonderful example of recording this presentation, which I'm not, I'd say my 10th attempt to get all the way through, I would rate that anxiety at this point around a 6. So starting at my first point, even though I have this problem with anxiety related to this presentation, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this problem with the anxiety related to this presentation, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this problem with this presentation, I deeply and completely accept myself. Moving to the head, this problem. To my eyebrow point, this problem. To my temples, this problem. To my cheekbones, this problem. Above the lip, this problem. My chin, this problem. My chest, this problem. And my final point, this problem. My whole breath, and then assessing the physical in my body. My body does feel calmer. I can feel the stress symptoms and hormones going down, and the oxytocin, which is our relaxing chemical, our anti-stress chemical, coming out. I feel when it's released in certain spots more than others. For me, that would be my chest and my temples. Those are my strongest points. I also really feel the head, but not every situation I'm in is going to be as comfortable tapping myself on the head. If I was in a public situation and I was trying to trigger a calming mechanism without other people noticing, I would probably go directly to my karate chop. I can do that under my desk at my chair, and it can go greatly unnoticed. Also could maybe sit and just add to my temples, just giving myself a moment with that, with my cheekbones. With these face ones, can just look maybe like you are just doing some fidgeting or just some general self-soothing without being obviously going through a technique. While I know this video was far longer than I intended to make it, I hope that it was helpful for you, and I hope that you will practice and go back through this technique to get used to it, to try it out, to see if it could be beneficial to you. To be honest, it is my most used self-calming technique because for me, I genuinely feel that it works and helps. Again, after all of those have gone through and you got that self-soothing cycle to do, this is how you're going to end it. I'm going to go with I choose to be calm and confident. So I choose to be calm and confident. I choose to be calm and confident. I choose to be calm and confident. I choose calm, confident. My choice. I am calm. I'm confident. I choose. Confidence. I wish you a beautiful day and for all the calming and the confidence that you can choose and work at growing. Thank you.